I went over in '69 June. We were listening to them landing on the moon. I just remember one time we were pumping blood in so fast. I was squeezing the bag so hard trying to get that blood in, and the blood burst all over me.
How did it make you feel to trash your fatigues? We are here going to meet up with a U.S. Army vet who did 2 tours in Vietnam. And here she is, the famous Rose, who
No, I'm not famous.
No, famous. Well, today you will be. All right, thanks for coming out. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. So can you tell us where you were born?
I was born in Winslow, Arizona in 1947. My dad was Hopi, he worked for the railroad. And my mother was Navajo, she was a homemaker.
Okay.
And she was Kithlachitni, and my dad was Spirit Fire Clan. So, but he had been a World War II veteran. And so he suffered from PTSD. And, but once in a while he'd talk about it, but not very much. So that was why I was interested in the Army. So I graduated from high school there in '65, went into nursing in Phoenix and graduated in '68 and had signed up for the student nurse program in the Army. So as soon as I passed my state boards, I went into the Army. And that was in '68. And then in '69, I went to El Paso and trained for the operating room. And little did I know that that time, you automatically got orders for Vietnam. I went over in '69 June, and I remember vividly listening to, we were listening to them landing on the moon, and while we were working on patients and stuff. So I was in the operating room.
Oh, okay.
And it was the 24th evac at Long Bin it was 24th evac hospital, and it was Long Bin. And we were a neuro, vascular, thoracic, ENT, orthopedics, general surgery, and just a lot of stuff. We just got everything. We got everything, and the helipad was right back, and they would medevac guys right in from the field. When I first got there, it was, I remember doing neurosurgery when we were in El Paso, and it took like 2 or 3 hours. When I got over there, the debridement lasted half an hour. I was scared. I was scared.
Yeah.
But I guess I got used to it because I was pretty much able to keep up by then. Very traumatic injuries and men dying behind the screens and amputations and stuff like that. That's what I remember.
So can you describe parts of Long Bin? Was it a unique environment, or?
Well, it was a big Army base.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it was one of the biggest ones, and I can't even remember how big it was. It was huge. A lot of, we had a POW camp right across from the barracks, from the guys' barracks, and sit and watch them sometimes. It was kind of scary. It was kind of weird to watch the Vietnamese, Viet Cong. Well, there were men and women in there. Yeah, and I remember one specific lady, she was pregnant.
Wow.
Yeah, and they had, big watchtowers on all 4 sides and stuff, and the lights were always on them. But
How old were you then?
Oh shoot, I guess I must have been just 21. I just turned 21, yeah.
But you're performing neurosurgery.
Yeah, no, well, I'm a scrub tech.
Oh, scrub tech. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
I'm an OR nurse, an operating room nurse.
Oh, okay.
And that we had medics that were scrub techs. But once in a while we had to scrub in to help assist the surgeon. And then we're in lots of times, we were scrubbed in vascular cases, and that just, I had never done that, done that. So it was very fast. We had to get moving. We had a Quonset hut that was divided into 3 parts that by wooden partitions.
Yeah.
And it was a cement floor, and it was just rudimentary. It was just very basic, and as soon as one was taken care of, we'd have another one come in on a gurney and put him over on the OR bed. And I mean, there were times like we got one guy that had a chest injury, and all we had to, the guys in anesthesia intubated him right fast, and we just swashed on the pre-op, the wash, and just we were in there. He was in there cutting right away, getting him the bleeding stopped.
Yeah.
Oh no, we have tourniquets.
Oh, you guys had
stuff
tourniquets?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Was it similar to what we have now with like the?
Oh yeah,
Cat
I
fives
mean,
and
it's the medevacs are based on what the evac system that they utilized in Vietnam.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, and one of the solutions they give is Ringer's lactate for IV, and that was initially from Vietnam too. Oh. So there were a lot of innovations that came out from there. Unfortunately, I just remember one time we were pumping blood in so fast because he was pouring out, and I was squeezing the bag so hard trying to get that blood in that the blood burst all over me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I mean, it wasn't the MASH thing stories, It was.
It was a real deal.
Yeah.
It was the stuff that's not glamorized. It's just raw.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So when I refuse to watch MASH because they make it seem like it was fun, and it wasn't. It wasn't fun at all.
With everything you've seen, do you feel comfortable watching like war movies and stuff like that?
No.
Or, no.
No. I have to walk. I think we went to see Black
Hawk Down?
Yeah, I had to walk out. I had to.
So you're only in Long Bend the entire time you were in
Yeah. I got R&R to Hong Kong. Another lady and I went, and then I went alone to Japan and did a tour, a week tour there.
Gotcha.
And then when I got back, I went back to El Paso, and then got out in 72, and then moved. Then my sons were born in Fort Polk, and then from there I came back a single mom to Shiprock.
How were you incorporated in as far as working for the military, then now working as a civilian? Was it a hard transition? Because I know that's usually hard for a lot of military vets, transition from the military into civilian life.
Well, what happened was too that one of my friends, she was Cherokee or Cheyenne, I can't remember. She was from Oklahoma, an RN, and she introduced me. She knew I was military, ex-military, and she told one of the nurses, a white nurse from back east, that I had been in the military in Vietnam. And her response was, well, whatever turns you on. So she was definitely anti-war, anti-military. So I never really, I just didn't tell anybody that I had been in the military. I didn't want that rebuff, Yeah.
So was that the only person that kind of affected you in that way that you didn't really want to talk about, or is it the fact that they were
Well, I
afraid?
got off the plane when I came back in '70, and I didn't have time to change out of fatigues. I had to run and catch a plane out of San Francisco. So we landed in Travis, and then I went down to San Francisco and was trying to get on a plane to come back to the Southwest, and I got really dirty looks from people. And I just changed it into civilian clothes at the airport and threw my fatigues into the trash. But it was just unnerving. I mean, it was just, the looks I got were so dirty. I mean, they hated me almost.
How did it make you feel to trash your fatigues?
I guess it felt good.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess so. But it just, the cloud was still over me, you know.
Yeah.
It's hung on all these years. I still, once in a while, get flashbacks, and I've been diagnosed with PTSD too.
Yeah.
But I've been turned down like 4 times for disability.
What was your dad's role in World War II?
He was an infantryman, and I don't remember the Keystone. He was with a unit with the Keystone emblem, and they marched into Germany, and he was issued clothes, you know, and stuff, and they didn't have boots his size because his feet were smaller.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave him rubber boots, and he went into war with that and got frostbitten on his feet. He never complained about that. He never ever complained about it.
Yeah.
That was my dad, though. You know, he went through a lot.
Yeah.
But he said that he remembers the little German kids and saying, "Those poor little ones, you know, we just gave them candy
Yeah.
as we could, you know, because they were hungry." Yeah. My mother didn't want us to learn. She grew up in the boarding schools, and so it was pretty much a no-no.
Yeah.
And
Navajo.
yeah, the Navajo she knew was way older, you know, the older language, I guess, I suppose.
Yeah.
And so when she went back to visit, they would laugh at her. So she didn't really want to teach us.
Who?
Family.
Really?
Her family, yeah.
They would laugh at her for speaking.
Using the old style language. Yeah, and then my dad didn't teach us. I picked up a few words here and there, but not very much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we spent most of our time with my dad's family. It was named by my grandmother, and because of my dad's clan, my name is Devomana, which is charcoal Madian. And it was changed, and I can't remember what my new name was because I came back. My dad took me to my grandmother, and she washed my hair for the warrior purification.
Yes.
And she gave me a new name, and I don't remember what it was.
Are you religious?
Yeah.
Okay. Which religion?
No,
I'm sorry.
Lutheran.
Lutheran.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
We don't go to church anymore. It's more or less I don't know how to say it. I believe in the old ways now.
Old ways of.
Great Spirit, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like traditional old ways.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, in our
Yeah.
creation stories. And
Yeah, I've kind of gone back to that. I'm just this big round circle back, you know.
So what were you doing at Shiprock during that time?
I was working in the Indian hospital.
Okay.
I felt an obligation to go back because the tribe paid for 2 years of my nursing school. So I always felt an obligation to go back, and I worked in the medical surgery ward and pediatrics, labor and delivery, and then eventually back to the OR.
So if you would have stayed till 81, you would have probably pulled me out of my mom. I was born in Shiprock.
Okay. There's one story I really like. One lady was on a table, and the midwives, they had midwives. They were really great. And they were trying to get this lady to push. And they looked at me and they said, I was with the lady up at the top of the table, and she says, push, tell her to push. I said, push!
They're like,
Yeah. I said, well, I don't speak Navajo.
oh,
Yeah.
So how long you guys been married?
45 years.
45 years. You guys are coming up on the golden 50. Nice. So where did you all meet?
Well, after Shiprock, I moved to Montana, took my 2 sons up there. We went way, way, way up, 11 miles south of the Canadian border, Fort Belknap, and that's where I met him.
Were you serving as well too? No.
He was a teacher, high school teacher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they fired him after he married me because I was Native. That's how prejudiced it was up there.
Really?
Yeah.
They fired you because you married a Native woman.
That's exactly what it was, yeah.
Veterans Day in Washington, D.C. It was very, very impressive. All the Native veterans were there. Oh, it's my Army Commendation Medal. It is kind of sad that we lost those men. They could have been grandfathers now, you know.